Yeah. So, good evening, all. So, myself, I'm Vijay. I hold nearly 17 plus years of experience, which includes nearly 8 plus years of experience in Hadoop and Spark environment, right? So, as part of today's demo, I'm going to cover the following topics. So, before I start, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether the screen is visible or not, right? Yes.
Yes, sir. Screen is visible, sir.
And thank you. So, what is big data? Why Hadoop and Spark? And what are the drawbacks we see with the current databases, right? Drawbacks with current databases, right? Hadoop and Spark advantages. Hadoop and Spark advantages. Yes. Hadoop and Spark components. Hadoop and Spark job market. Fine. Yes. So in today's session, mostly I discuss about big data and Hadoop, right? In the tomorrow session, I'll be discussing mostly on Spark and advantages. Yes, its features. What is big data? What is big data, right? The name itself saying, right? Huge volumes of data. You see the current, how the data is stored currently, right? Data storage units like KBs of data, right? MBs of data, GBs of data, gigabytes, terabytes, petabytes, exabytes, right? Zettabytes, ettabytes, ottabytes, so on, right? Yes. So from TB onwards, we see like huge data, right? Or big data, right? So do you think like, okay, you should have seen KBs of data, MBs of data, or even GBs of data, right? But do you think like petabytes of data, is it getting generated in the current real world, right? 1 petabyte equal to, right, 1024 TBs. Already 1 TB is a large storage unit, right? Do you think like 1 petabyte, right? Yes, 1 petabyte equal to 1024 TBs. So already 1 TB is a large storage unit, right? 1 TB is a large storage unit. So here 1024 TBs forms a petabyte, right? It forms a petabyte. So do you think like petabytes of data or exabytes of data, is it getting generated in the current world? If so, examples of petabytes of data generation, petabytes of data generation. Talk about a banking sector. Yes. If you take example of any bank like SBI or HDFC, right? We see within the city, we see hundreds of branches. Within the entire state, we see thousands of branches, right? Within the entire country, lakhs of branches for SBI. Again, within each branch, we call, say, like millions of customers, each customer making multiple transactions per hour, per day, per week, per month, per year. Each and every transaction need to be stored, right? So huge data. And forget about this, everyone aware about the social media like Facebook, right? Facebook, it has got users not only within the country, it has got millions and trillions of users throughout the world. What is the data generated by Facebook in a minute? How many posts and videos are getting circulated? What should be the storage capacity to store all that videos and posts, right? So not like you see, like it's what is the data generated means not in MBs or GBs, like terabytes and petabytes of data. Not only like Facebook, right? Today we have got many applications. Today, if we talk, like many applications are generating data in petabytes. They are generating data in petabytes, right? Yes. 1 minute, if I talk about 1 minute of transaction, right? 1 minute transaction, right? Yes. In a minute, how many FB post, Facebook post, right? Yes. What is the data generated by Facebook? In a minute, how many Twitter tweets? What is the data generated by Twitter in a minute? What is the data generated by Google, right? Google queries, right? What is the data generated by YouTube videos upload? YouTube videos upload, right? Yes. So huge data, right? What to store all the videos, everyone creating their own videos and uploading in the YouTube, right? What should be the storage capacity to store all the videos? And everyone, right, has got millions and trillions of users using email messages, right? Email messages. Each and every message need to be stored, right? What should be the storage capacity to store all these messages? Or bank transactions. Just now I was talking about the bank transactions, or if it like telecom transactions, or like Flipkart or Amazon transaction, right? Like e-commerce transaction. Everywhere we see like huge data, right? Yes. Not in GBs or TBs, petabytes of data. All these applications storing petabytes of data, right? Yes. Okay. Currently we have got databases, right? Currently we have got databases like we see like databases like Oracle, MySQL, right? We have got databases like Oracle, MySQL, DB2, SQL Server, right? All these databases, right? They are used for OLTP, online transactional processing, for day-to-day operations, right? But if you see, we have got some specialized databases. We have got some specialized databases used for data warehouse purpose, right? Like we got Teradata. If you heard about like Teradata and Netezza, Vertica, right? Yes. These are used for OLAP, for data warehouse purpose, right? DWH, data warehouse purpose, right? Online analytical processing, OLAP, online analytical processing, right? Yes. Databases and specialized databases both are used for, right? Okay. Okay. Now these databases or specialized databases, they can handle data up to some extent, like databases in GBs of data, specialized databases in TBs of data, right? But to handle petabytes of data, right? We doesn't see these databases cannot handle like petabytes of data, like as a solution to all these storage level problems, right? Not only storage and also processing level, right? We have got a framework like Hadoop for storage and processing. Later, I'll come back to this. What are the Hadoop and Spark services? But before that, if we talk about this, how this data is getting generated, data generations, and if you see data sources and data types, right? If talk, if you take, for example, if you take this is your data available, this is your data, right? Available. This data got generated from the last 50 years. Assume that from 1973 to 2023, right? This is the data which got generated, right? If you compare this data, right? Yes, if you see from 2013 to 2023, last 10 years data comparison with previous 40 years, right? See, previous 40 years. Only like if you see 20% of the data has got generated from the last previous 40 years, and nearly 80% of the data what we see currently has been generated from the last 10 to 15 years, right? The reasons for huge data generation, especially from the last 10 to 15 years, right? Because of usage of technology, usage of smartphones, usage of internet, right? Because of which huge data is getting generated from the last 10 to 15 years. And also, what are the main sources from where this data is getting generated? Mainly three sources of data, right? Three sources. If you go back to, especially from last 10 to 15 years, this data has been, but if you see in 1990s or in early 2000s, right? The data was very less. We have got floppy disk. We used to carry data in floppy disk, 1.44 MB, right? Later you got compact disk, DVDs, like USBs, right? So day by day, you see like data increasing, the storage systems also increasing. In the earlier stages of mobile phones, like just 128 MB storage, you need to have in 2001 or 2002 at the earlier stages of mobile phones. The internal storage was 128 MB or 256 MB, right? But now even 128 GB is a very small storage. So is data increasing, right? So the storage systems also need to be increased. From where this data is getting generated means mainly three sources, right? Three sources of data. You can say like a social data, machine data, and a transactional data, right? Three types: social data, machine data, and transactional data. See, what is social data? Data which got generated from social sites, right? Like Amazon, like Facebook, Twitter, all this, right? And machine data means the data which got generated by reading or scanning the barcodes, RFID chips. So whenever you go to any shopping mall, right, for the items you purchase, you will get huge data getting generated, right, by reading or scanning the barcodes. Such data we call like machine data. And transactional data, like day-to-day operations, like bank transactions, telecom transactions, right? And what are the main types? Like three types, right? They are going to occupy three types of data. Three types of data, like structured, unstructured, and semi-structured, right? Structured data, semi-structured, unstructured, right? Structured data, semi-structured data, and unstructured data. Data which is organized in the form of rows and columns in a structured format, like DB tables, like Excel files, DB tables, database tables, right? Everything we call like structured. Semi-structured means they are not fully structured, they are not fully unstructured, right? Like XML files, JSON files, right? Yes. Unstructured, like short messages, articles, images, videos, all this comes as unstructured. The biggest challenge is like storing and processing this unstructured data. Today, if you see, most of the data which is generated occupying this unstructured format, right? We need to have proper storage and processing systems to handle this unstructured and semi-structured kind of data, right? If we talk about databases, they can handle only structured data. They can process the structured data, right? So Hadoop is a kind of technology which can store and process this huge data, right? Yes. So as a solution to all the storage and processing level problems, we have got a framework called Hadoop. We have got a framework called Hadoop. Hadoop is meant for two things. So, okay. So Hadoop is, we have got a framework called Hadoop. Hadoop is meant for two things. Hadoop provides two services: storage and processing performs two things: storage and processing. Okay, storage plus processing, right? Yes. So if you talk about any technology, right, they perform either storage or processing. If you talk about C or C++ or Java, .NET, right, all these, they are meant for processing. They are meant for processing, right? Yes. And if you talk about Oracle, MySQL, DB2, all this meant for storage. They are meant for either storage or processing. But Hadoop performs both storage and processing. But for storage, does Hadoop use any database internally? No. Hadoop is going with a kind of file system called as Hadoop distributed file system. And for processing, we are going with an execution model called as MapReduce. And currently we are using Spark, right? Yes. So for storage, we are using this. For processing, we are using this, right? Both combinedly can store and process. And you may get doubt, right? When Hadoop is able to perform storage and processing, what is the use of the current processing and storage technologies, right? So do you think that they will be away from the market when Hadoop in the market where it can perform storage and processing? No. You need to know where this Hadoop and Spark is used for batch processing, for batch application, right? Means millions and trillions of records go for Hadoop or Spark. For one record or two records, we no need to go for this Hadoop or Spark, right? And go with databases. For online processing, for day-to-day operation, go with the databases for one transaction or two transactions. For millions and trillions of records, right? Go for Hadoop, right? Yes. Now coming to this, right? Yes, understood, right? What is big data, Hadoop, right? So if I take big data, huge data generation, if I take big data as a problem, huge data generation, then I can say like Hadoop as the solution for it, right? Or if you take like big data as a big data as a concept, Hadoop as the solution for it. Right. So now you may ask a query, why databases like Oracle is not used for storing Hadoop's data? Drawbacks with the current databases, right? Yeah, drawbacks with the current databases. So first thing, right? Most of the databases, right? Most of the databases, less storage, very less storage. They can handle in GBs or in TBs, right? GBs or TBs. Mainly, most of the databases, no parallel processing. No parallel processing in most of the databases, right? And if volume increases, right? If volume increases, saying like speed decreases, right? Yes, speed decreases. If volume increases, speed decreases. For example, to justify this, select total amount, sum of amount, right? Total amount from sales one. Sales one is the table, right? It consisting of 10 records. Assume it has got only 10 records. And see one more query, right? Select sum of amount, right? Sum of amount from sales to. From sales to, it has got like 1 lakh records. Total amount from sales one, 10 records. Total amount from sales to 1 lakh records, right? Select sum of amount, total amount of, yes. One crore records. 10 records, 1 lakh records, 1 crore records. 10 records, 1 lakh records, and 1 crore records. So which query is going to execute faster among these three, right? Yes, everyone. Either 10 records or 1 lakh or 1 crore. Which record, which table, like this or this or this? Which one is going to execute faster? So the first query, right, executes faster because total amount of 10 records as compared with 1 lakh or 1 crore, right? So query to query, as volume increasing, speed decreases, right? And if you talk complexity increases, if complexity increases, right, speed decreases, complexity increases, speed decreases. For example, select sum of amount from sales one. Assume this if complex from sales one, right? Yes. You got some 1 lakh reports. Assume that you got 1 lakh reports. Next series, select average amount. Select average amount from sales one, right? Yes. Select sum of amount from sales one, 1 lakh records, average amount from sales one, 1 crore records. So sorry, 1 lakh only. Assume sales one, same table, right? Select the standard deviation of amount, standard deviation of amount, right? Standard deviation of amount from sales one. So all this, right, has got like 1 crore records. Sorry, 1 lakh records. Same sales one only, right? 1 lakh records. Which query executes faster among these three? Sum of amount from sales one, average amount from sales one, standard deviation of amount from sales one, right? First query again, right? Yes, because average amount is a two-step process. First sum to be calculated, next average to be calculated. Standard deviation is a lot of internal processing required. So again, the first query executes faster as compared with the other two, right? So here query to query, right? Query to query as well as this. Query to query as complexity increases, speed decreases, right? Yes. And the major drawback with the databases, right? Databases can handle only structured data. Databases can handle only structured data. They can handle only structured data, cannot handle unstructured or semi-structured kind of data. For example, if you want to take reviews for a particular movie, right? Yes. So the table name is reviews. User 2, user 3, 100 users, right? 100 users. Review, right? Yes. Movie is good. First person saying movie is good. Second person saying movie is not good. Okay, for example, think that they are giving reviews in the form of ones and zeros. First person saying 1, second person saying 0, 1, 0. In this way, the reviews are given in the form of ones and zeros. 1 means good, 0 indicates bad. Can you write an SQL query to count the number of ones and zeros? Means how many saying it's good and bad, right? We can write an SQL query for this, right? Count aggregation. Select review wise count, review wise count from which table? Reviews table. Group by review. Review wise count from reviews, group by review. What is the output, right? Yes. Zeros and ones, right? 1 and 0. What is the count? 90 people saying the movie good, 10 people saying the movie bad, right? Assume. This kind of structured data, okay. But if the reviews won't be given in the zeros and ones, right? They give the reviews in their own text format. First person saying movie is good. Second person saying movie is not good. So in this way, they are giving in their own text format. They are giving the review in their own text format, right? Giving the review in their own text format. Right? So here 90 people saying movie is good and 10 people saying the movie is bad, right? Now, can you write an SQL query, right? For this, if they are writing in the text format, how many people saying good, how many people saying it's not good, right? We cannot write a query even based on keyword count. If you try to see, right, if you want to count based on keyword, still it gives wrong computation because even not good has got good within it, right? So the major drawback with databases can handle only structured data. But if we talk about this Hadoop advantages, right? Hadoop advantages. First thing, unlimited data storage. Unlimited data storage. Unlimited data storage. And secondly, very high speed processing. Very high speed processing. And can handle all varieties of data. Can handle all varieties. Unlimited data storage, very high speed processing, can handle all varieties of data, right? Okay. Open source, no licensing required, right? Open source. Unlimited data storage, very high speed processing, can handle all varieties of data, open source, no licensing required. Okay, unlimited data storage, right? Unlimited data storage, very high speed processing, right? So if you see examples, Yahoo has conducted a test, right? Yahoo has conducted a test to check the speed of various databases. It has taken a table, Yahoo has taken a table, right, of 100 TB. Has taken a table of 100 TB, right, consisting of 1024 columns. Task, right? Task. Yeah, task, right? Sorting based on 16 columns. Sorting based on 16 columns, right? Yes. What is the time taken by various databases? Time taken by various databases. First one, right? Oracle has taken nearly 3.5 days to process this, right? MySQL, right? MySQL, it has taken nearly 6 days to process it. 6 days, right? And if we talk like specialized databases like Teradata used for data warehouse purpose can handle TBs of data just taken 4.5 hours, right? Yes. Another specialized databases like Netija, right? Right. It has just taken 3 hours to process this. But finally, Hadoop, right? has just taken 3.4 minutes, 3.4 minutes, and latest version of Hadoop has taken just 1.2 minutes, right? If you talk about Spark, it will take seconds, right? If Hadoop's Spark speed is more faster than Hadoop. So this is what the Hadoop speed, right, compared with other things where they have taken days and hours. Hadoop has taken just minutes of time. That is, Hadoop is proven in the market, processing point of view, right? And even in the storage point of view also, Hadoop is proven, right? So you may, okay, processing point of view, right? Very high speed processing. Today, if we talk like most of the projects, like ETL kinds of projects, they're migrating towards Hadoop and Spark environment, right? Yes. You may ask like why databases like Oracle, why I have got see this query, right? Why databases like Oracle, cannot support unlimited storage, right? Yes. Why databases like Oracle cannot support unlimited storage? Why only Hadoop can perform? Why not this? Means Hadoop follows master and slave architecture. Single master and multiple slaves. Multiple slaves means a single master and multiple slave systems. But here there is a limitation for this. For this limitations, right? Databases and max limit on the number of slaves. Max limit on the number of slaves. Like if you talk like Oracle, right? It can have maximum 256 slave systems. 256 nodes are slaves, right? Slave systems. Beyond that, it cannot, right? It cannot support data. Once these 256 slaves or systems gets filled, it cannot support data further. If we talk like MySQL, just it can support only 54 slaves. Supports only 54 slaves. Yes. MySQL Express, right? MySQL Express, it can support nearly 256 slaves. And DB2, right? It supports nearly like 256 slaves. Oracle, MySQL Express, DB2, SQL Server, right? Yes, SQL Server, right? Like 256 slaves. Right. So they can support only up to 256. Beyond that, they cannot support, right? But we have got some specialized databases like Teradata, right? Teradata, it can support nearly 512 slaves, right? Systems for storing its data. And Netija, right? It can also support, right? 512 slaves. Vertica also can support nearly 512 slaves for storing its data. Okay, MySQL Express, DB2, SQL Server, Teradata, Netija, Vertica. But Teradata and Netija, now they are supporting nearly 1024 systems or slaves, right, to store its data. And Netija also supporting 1024, right, 1024 slaves for storing its data, right? But still, I cannot say like they are storing unlimited storage is possible. No, once they get filled, they cannot support data further. But there is no limit. There is no limit on the number of slaves. That Hadoop can have, right? Yes. But there is no limit on the number of slaves that Hadoop can have. unlimited number of slaves, right? So that. So Yahoo when first time implemented Hadoop. Yahoo when first time implemented Hadoop. Went with 4,000 slaves. 4,000 slaves for storing its data. And currently it is going with currently Yahoo using nearly 12,000 slaves or nodes, right, for storing its data. Facebook, right? Facebook when first time implemented Hadoop went with 8,000 slaves for storing its data. Currently it is going with, right? Currently it is going with 12,000 slaves for 42,000 slaves, right? 42,000 slaves for storing its data, right? Means there is no limit like the databases going with 256 or 512, but here they can go with the thousands. There is no limit on the number of slaves that Hadoop can have,
Vijay,
right? Yes.
Vijay, sorry to interrupt. Can you please repeat what is the slaves and nodes are?
Yes, that I'll be discussing, right? So one second. See, Hadoop follows a single master, multiple slaves. Master slave architecture. So Hadoop or Spark follows, right? Master slave, not client server architecture. Master slave. Single master means these are multiple slaves. Slave nodes, we say. This is master node. These are slave nodes. Group of nodes, CPUs. Group of nodes are CPUs. They're connected in a network. One master node and all are nodes are slaves, nothing but systems, CPUs. One master node and multiple slave nodes. So in Hadoop, if there is a file, in Hadoop data is stored in the form of files. The data f1.txt, think that your system or the slave 1 TB, 1 TB, 1 TB means each system storage is 1 TB, 1 TB, 1 TB. Slaves nothing but system nodes. Master node means it's a one system. Slaves and multiple systems, right? So each system capacity 1 TB. My file size is 2 TB. This 2 TB cannot fit into any of this file, right? Any of this system, it cannot be accommodated by any system, right? So in Hadoop, data is going to be split into smaller parts. It is going to be split into smaller parts and will be first part in one system, second one in another system, this in another system. Means distributed storage, you see. The data is going to get distributed across multiple systems and processed by multiple systems. Two advantages what we can see. Huge data file can be accommodated. Secondly, as it is distributed across multiple systems, they are processed parallelly. They are processed parallelly, right? Yes. Okay, they are processed parallelly. Okay, so we'll see very high speed, right? Because a single file distributed across multiple systems and is processed parallelly, very high speed. See, if work done by one system, work done by multiple systems, means work done by one person and work done by multiple persons. You can see that speed, right? Yes, that's what high speed. Okay. So these are the systems, means Hadoop, horizontally unlimited number of slaves. Horizontally, you can keep on adding the systems or slaves, right? Slaves means systems. We can have any number of systems. There is no limit, but for databases, there is a limit. Yeah, how many systems can be? And Yahoo, Facebook went with 42,000 systems for storing its data. Initially, it was using 8,000. Currently, it is using this. Means there is no limit on the number of systems that Hadoop can have. Slaves, right, can have, but there is a limit in other databases. So storage point of view, it is proven, and processing point of view, it is proven in the market, right? Yes, understood, right? What is Hadoop, why Hadoop, right? And drawbacks with the databases, Hadoop advantages, right? And most of this today, if you see most of the applications generating huge data, so to be stored and to be processed, these big data tools are mostly preferred, right? Yes. One second. Now see these advantages, and as compared, some tests were conducted by Yahoo to check the speed of these databases, where Hadoop has taken minutes of time, where the other things they have taken like days and hours, it has taken minutes of time. And why databases like Oracle or this cannot support means they have limit on the number of slaves. Fine. So if you see, uh, and if we talk about Spark, right? Spark, a very high speed processing technology, right? Used currently, it has got great demand in the market. The tool has got great demand. About this Spark, right? The advantages, its features, all this I'll be demonstrating in the tomorrow session, right? But as what is the course structure, right? What is that course content we'll be discussing, right? I'll just show you what we'll be discussing as part of this course. Some Hadoop components and Spark, right? So like big data Hadoop introduction. Second. Why Hadoop need of Hadoop data sources and HDFS, Hadoop distributed file system. We need to have the knowledge on this HDFS file system. It doesn't use databases as it got some drawbacks. Map reduce execution model, right? In Hadoop. And a scoop, SQL plus Hadoop. First two characters of this and last three characters of it form scoop, right? Import or export operations, how to bring data, how to pull the data from different databases, processing it, and after processed, the data need to be again taken to databases. Import and export operations, it's not for processing, it's just for importing data and exporting data, right? And filtering, transforming, all this. Yarn, yet another resource negotiator. So from Hadoop 2 version onwards, we got many architectural changes. Yet another resource negotiator. And as a Hadoop and Spark developer, you need to have the idea about at least one NoSQL database, not only SQL for schema-less behavior, random access. NoSQL advantage is record to record, different number of fields or columns can be maintained. In SQL, first record to last record, same number of columns need to be maintained, right? But in NoSQL, my first record with 3 fields, second record with 5 fields, third record with 10 fields, right? Record to record, different number of fields can be maintained, right? And as part of our course, I'll be discussing the HBase, one NoSQL database, HBase and HBase data modeling and CRUD operations, and Hive and HBase integration. And next, the important Hadoop component like Hive, which is used for data warehouse. We use a language called HQL here, loading data and making the data structured and creating tables, internal tables, external tables. We're working with unstructured XML, JSON data, working with URL, weblog data, unions, joins, UDF, UDAF, UDTFs, right? Non-partition, partition table, indexing, bucketing, partitioning, static partitioning, dynamic partitioning, right? And now coming to this PySpark, right? Spark with Python. So up to now, that is what Hadoop components that we'll be discussing, right? Now PySpark. PySpark real-time use cases, PySpark session, PySpark context, Spark context, parallelized repartitioning, broadcast variables, PySpark RTD computations, RTD persistence or persistence features options, PySpark core computation, and increasing the number of partitions, groupings, and aggregations, single grouping, single aggregation, multi groupings, multiple aggregations, group by key, reduce by key, various actions and transformations, right? Various one by one actions and transformations, count by key, count by value, sort by key. So one by one inbuilt transformations and actions, we don't need to write huge coding. So various inner join, Cartesian, PySpark SQL data frames, right? Making data structured using maps, RTDs, PySpark, RTD, PySpark, show, row class, select, collect, with column renamed where, order by, group, join, union, one by one. All these APIs, right, with working examples. PySpark SQL functions, aggregate functions, window functions, date functions, JSON, right, read, right, and built-in functions, right, when, expression, lit, translate, overlay, to timestamp, percentage rank, count, distinct, row number, rank, dense rank, type, lit, right, all this. And PySpark external sources, working with SQL statements, Hive integration, working with CSV, JSON, transformations and auctions on data frames, narrow and wide transformations, handling nulls, writing data back to external sources, deployment modes, local and cluster, PySpark applications, stages and tasks, driver and executor, deploying Spark applications to cluster, streaming integration with Kafka and PySpark, machine learning library, right? Yes. So all this in brief, right, in depth we'll be discussing about entire data analytics with Hadoop and Spark, different APIs given and with many working examples, right? Yes. Fine. Yeah. So I'll be briefing about the Spark features, advantages, how it is used in the real time, right? In the tomorrow session, right? So this is what the course content. So every session will be video recorded. You will be getting the recorded videos of it. And clear notes will be provided, right? Fine. So this is a weekend batch. Yes, give me a minute, give me a second, right? I'll just come back with your queries. So on Saturday it will be like 2 to 2.5 hours. Sunday it will be 2 to 2.5 hours, right? 5 hours per week. So only on Saturday and Sundays it's a weekend batch. Yes. Fine. So it's totally of 12 weekends, right? 12 weekends. In depth, in brief, we'll be discussing, and all the softwares, everything I'll be provided, right, in through Google Drive, and videos also you'll be getting to Google Drive. Notes I'll be forwarding through mail, right? Fine. If you got any queries, you can go with your queries, and tomorrow also you can attend the session, right, at same time at 5:30 to see more on this. Mostly on Spark, I'll be briefing you, right, before I go with that basics of this big data, right? Yeah, any queries you have got, you can go ahead with your queries, right?
Sir, can we have any project? I mean, live project, something like that.
So at the last I'll be showing you the flow, right, on this.
Okay.
So do we need to have Java and Python programming knowledge before continuing with this course?
So here PySpark means you need to have Spark with Python implementation. You need to have the knowledge on Python, basic Python, right? Yes. So the course is of 12 weeks, right? And the fee structure is 12,000, right? For which constitutes both Hadoop and Spark, right? Previously there were two separate courses. Now both we combinedly we are giving for an offer, right? It's like 12,000 for both, like 12 weekends. It goes for 3 months, right? And the Hadoop and especially for Spark, total implementation goes in Python, right? And anyone wants to also, because first 1 month or 1 month I'll be discussing on Hadoop, right, where we won't touch any Python there. So by the time we can update with Python by the time when we start Spark, right? So people, and if you want Python also, I'll be also handling some Python batches, right? So those who wants Python also along with this, right? The package will be like 15K, right? Along with Python. You can join any of my Python batch, right? Which is going to be started. So, yes. So first 1 month we'll be having discussion on Hadoop, where we use, we'll be discussing about these Hadoop components. By the time we start, we can just update with Python. If anyone not aware about Python, right? Yes. So, yeah, any other queries, right? Yes.
Sir, since I've already joined Python just yesterday, so can it be clubbed with this course, my Python course?
Okay, if you're, yes, if anyone already done, right? So it was said, right? It's the 15K is that fee, right? So if anyone attending Python, if they want to get updated, right, 15K is the total package.
Okay, thank you.
And normal only for Hadoop and Spark. If you already had knowledge on Spark, it's 12K is the fee structure, right?
Okay, thank you.
Sir,
And I just wanted to understand, sir, the type of projects, like you will be doing a project, and will, like, at the end of this course or at the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks, what type of projects will be exposed to, or we will be doing on our own? Can we do on our own the projects once we complete the course?
Yes, totally. You will be getting command on this total Hadoop and Spark related APIs, right? When to use what, for what task, what to be performed, right? So will be during the course itself, right? We'll be designing many data flows, right? Spark, especially, it's a data flow language, right? So many data flows will be designing, right? With many working examples.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, you have a separate classes for Python, or it is there in the class?
So no, separate timings will be there, and means this Tuesday at 7 a.m. in the morning, I'm starting a Python batch, right? Morning 7 a.m. right?
When it's going to start?
On 31st of this month, after 3 days. At morning 7 a.m. right? At morning 7 a.m. there is a Python batch. I'm going to start morning 7 a.m. right?
Okay.
And 31st of this month, and again 14th of this next, after 2 weeks, right? There is one more batch in 7 p.m. right? I'm going to start.
Sir, is there no batch for weekend because I'm working professional. Weekdays is not possible for me.
So most of the weekends I'll be dealing with Spark and Scala and Spark PySpark batches are there, and this data analytic batches. Mostly this I'll be dealing with. But people, okay, there are some people previously who have joined, right? If he doesn't have knowledge on Python, even if you attend the sessions, that's fine. Otherwise, following the videos, that's fine if you're unable to attend. But there are no weekend batches. But whenever you have got any queries, people will be joining and you'll be asking the queries, right? Any 1 or 2 days, right? If unable to attend. Yes. No weekend batches for Python. No weekend batches for Python, but for this only we have got the weekend batches for this.
So this timings will not change, right? Or it
No.
It will change.
This timing won't change. I have got other batches, right? Other timings. This will be.
Okay. Yeah, because this is convenient, so that's why if it changes,
Yes.
then my schedule will change.
Yes.
Okay.
So are
Thank
you
you.
covering the installation steps also?
What is it?
Installation steps.
Yeah. How to install on Windows, how to install on Linux, and how to work on this Anaconda, Jupyter, Spider, PyCharm. All this I'll be discussing, right?
Okay. And I heard like the pig and yarn is out of scope, so nowhere there is.
Pig, we are not discussing pig, right?
Okay. And what about deployment like yarn, so architecture? So that is also no more. So airflow, something kind of things you're using.
Pig, yeah. Apache pig is. We are not discussing that pig. Apache pig is not discussed. So other components.
What about yarn?
So yarn architecture will be discussing. Yeah, only the architectural part.
Okay, and
Okay.
deployment means like nowadays they are using airflow. So instead of yarn, so nowhere they're using yarn architecture also.
So at the last, I'll be providing that knowledge on that.
Okay.
So
And if you,
yes.
So you are covering the airflow also, right? So the through the deployment option.
So this is what you can once again just to go through all this course content, right? You will be getting this course content to your mail IDs. So all this in-depth knowledge on PySpark, all the APIs with many working examples, right? Yes.
Okay. And this PySpark, how it will differ from working in Databricks that in cluster mode?
Yeah, that also how to work with the Databricks, that also I'll be discussing, right?
Okay. So and what about Delta live tables that you are covering?
What is it? No.
Delta live tables.
No, that is not covered here.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, fine. Any other queries, right? Anyone?
Sir, how to pay the fees? I mean,
Yeah. Tomorrow, right? During the session, there will be. So you will be getting a mail, right? Whatever mail ID you have joined, you'll be getting a mail, right? They'll be giving the entire the payment process and procedure,
okay.
right? Through. Okay. And also tomorrow during the class in the chart panel, they'll be posting that payment options, everything, right? In the chart panel. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So
Can you hear me?
I'm stopping for now. So we'll continue tomorrow, same time at 5:30. You can follow the same link to see more on this, right? Tomorrow, mostly my discussion will be on Spark, PySpark, right? Introduction on this PySpark and the features, the advantages, all this, right? So I'm stopping for now. Thank you all for your time. Thank you.
Vijay?
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello?
Yeah. Any query? Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Already I opted for the Python and the data science and the tech of that. So already
Yeah.
you told that tech
You
will be on
you opted for?
Python, data science, and the 7 batch, the 7 batch.
Okay.
Python.
Okay, yes. People who are already said, right, only for Hadoop and Spark it is like 12K, and if anyone already doing Python here in this Durga soft, and like if anybody wants to update with Python, right, the fee structure is 15K. If you already have done paid for this Python and if you're updating with the Python, right, so your total package will be 15K.
I'm about the timing of the classes.
Timing will be right every week on Saturday.
Already you
Five-
said that tech will be at the backend batch only.
This is a weekend batch, right? This is a weekend batch only.
No. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, right?
No, you said that full stack will be on weekend batch only. The 7 p.m. batch there. So this for
So all these are weekend batches. I'll be running from morning to evening, right? Many weekend batches on Scala, Spark with Scala, and Big Data Analytics, right? Many weekend batches. Yes. Okay.
I'll back to you there.
Fine. Okay. So I'm stopping here. We'll continue tomorrow, same time at 5:30, right? Fine.
Yes. Can you see my screen? Yeah. Fine. First of all, I'm Swami Naidu. I'm teaching UI technologies, React JS, Angular, okay, HTML, JavaScript, CSS. These technologies I'm teaching in Durga South. Okay. So I have been from past 12 years in this teaching field. Okay. And also I'm working the company as UI developer. So in this demonstration class, just I will explain you what is React JS and what are the benefits of React JS. So these are the concepts which we are discussing now. First of all, let me open Notepad. React JS. So React JS is a client-side script to implement dynamic web pages. So React.js client side script implement dynamic web pages. First of all, we should know what is client side script and what is server side script. That concept we should know. Okay. Now here, if you take any website, every website contains two phases. Okay, one is design phase. First phase is design. Second one, coding phase. In design phase, programmers are creating user interfaces. What is user interface? It is nothing but the front page which we are displaying. Okay. For example, if you open Google or Facebook, any websites, so you can see pages on the browser. Those pages we are calling as user interfaces. So these pages, how can we implement? What are the technologies? HTML, CSS, Bootstrap. So these are the technologies programmers are using to implement the user interfaces. Second one is coding. Yes. In coding point of view, there are two types of scriptings we have. One is client side, another one is server side. So what is client side script? Yes. So here, if you implement any client side logics, those logics are executing in client system. Who is client? The person who is accessing our application. Okay. The person who is accessing our web application comes under client. Is it clear? For example, if you open Facebook, then you are the client of Facebook. Like that Gmail, you are the client of Gmail. Like that client side code. Okay. So this, for example, Facebook contains some client side script. So that script is executing in our browser. Okay. When you type facebook.com, what is happening? The client side script is downloading into our browser. Okay. In our browser, it is executing. Got it. Like that, every website contains client-side script. That client-side script is downloading into our browser at the time of loading that web page and executes in our browser. Okay, yes. So client-side script executes in client systems browser. To implement this client-side script, what are the technologies we are using? Okay. So here, JavaScript or next level technologies of JavaScript like React, Angular, many technologies are there, Backbone JS, Vanilla JS, etc. Okay, yeah. So this is about the client side scripts. So I told you React JS is the client side script, right? Yes. So once again, just what is client side script? So this code executes in browser, okay, in client system. Next one, server side script executes server. So it is executing server only output is downloading into the client system. Is it clear? Server-side script is executing in web server, only the output downloading into the client system. So what are the examples for the server-side script? Okay, so ASP, JSP, PHP, etc. All these technologies comes under server-side scripts. Yes, yeah. Like that. So if you take React.js is an open source client-side script. Okay. Yes. Now, what are the benefits of client-side script? What we can do with client-side scripts? That's the main point here. So means why we are using client-side scripts. Okay. So I told you in every website we are using both client-side as well as server-side scripts. So what we can do with these scripts? Okay. Now if you take client-side scripts, yeah. Why we are using the scripts? First point, to apply dynamic functionalities on HTML elements. Yeah, what the reason? First reason to use client-side script to apply the dynamic functionalities on HTML elements. So if you take HTML elements like text box, button, radio button, image, all these controls comes under static controls. What is the meaning of static control? The properties of the controls cannot change. Static control means the properties of the controls cannot change at runtime. For example, I place one image in HTML file by providing some width, height, and image name src. With some properties, I placed an image. So now with these properties, image is loading. Once it is loaded, later you want to change the properties, not possible. Is it clear? Yes. But by using JavaScript, we can change the properties of HTML controls at runtime. So one example I will show you. A simple HTML file I'm creating to show the example. What is dynamic that we are discussing? Demo.html. So now in my browser, I have apple.jpg. Okay. Yes. So I want to display this image control. General HTML img tag we are using to display the image. So I will give you information about these HTML tags. Okay, because in our React.js programming, we are using HTML also. So that's why I will explain HTML concepts. Okay, now img source is equal to apple.jpg and width is equal to 100 pixels I have given. I close this body. In the simple HTML file, just have taken the image tag. Now this is demo.html. So open this. You can see it displays that image. What the image name? Apple.jpg. It is clear. Now this control is loaded and this control is static control, right? I want to change this control as dynamic control. Okay. I want to change it as dynamic control. How can we change this as dynamic control? Yes, with the help of client-side scripts. Dynamic means changing the properties of control at runtime. Okay, it is nothing but changing the properties of controls at runtime. For example, here image is there, some source. So that source I want to change, or width I want to change, or height I want to change. So all this comes under dynamic concept. Okay. Now how to work with this dynamic concept? Now in this point of view, just I'm using, yeah, any client-side script we can use. Right now, we haven't started React. So I will show you that with JavaScript. My requirement is already what is image we have, what is the image we have, apple.jpg. When I click on this control, I want to change it as orange.jpg. That is the control. So here, just simply I'm writing a statement. Don't try to use this statement. We will discuss all this using React.js, orange dot. So it is not JPG image, it is JPEG image. So now I have given a statement where onClick is equal to JavaScript colon source we are changing. What the original source apple.jpg that I'm changing as orange.jpg. A refresh, click, now it displays orange.jpg. Okay, like that. The thing is, you want to change the properties at runtime. Properties are HTML control at runtime. Then we are taking the support of client-side scripts. That's the first reason why we are using. Is it clear? Yes. So next one, to validate input controls. Yes. So input controls validation point of view also we are using. So I want to check text box is empty. Okay. Password retype password matching or not. And email ID format is valid format on these type of validations I want to display. Then also we are using these client-side scripts. Next one, to execute logics. Yeah, already I told you, client-side script logics. Client-side logics are executing in browser. Is it clear? Client-side logics are executing in browser. So that's why, okay. So these logics result is very fast. For example, calculator program you are implementing in your application. To implement that calculator program, you can use either client-side script or server-side scripts. Okay. So client-side script, you can use React or any other client-side script. In server-side point of view, you're using ASP, JSP like that. Now the question is, if I use this client-side script, okay, like React or any other technology, benefit is whenever user performing any calculations, the code is running in user system, in client system. That's why you can see the result very fast. Yes, and if it is server-side script, okay, so then every time the request is going to the server and response is coming back to the browser. For this entire request and response, it takes some time. Okay. Yes. So that's why here the performance of client-side script is very, very faster than server-side script. You got it. The performance of client-side script is very, very faster than server-side script. And due to that reason, most of the logics in web applications we are implementing with client-side scripts only. Is it clear? And next one, yes. To use Ajax. To use the Ajax, Ajax is very mandatory. concept. Okay. So this Ajax we are using to send request to the server without submitting the web page. So generally server-side API calls we are accessing through Ajax. Okay. So that's why to work with this Ajax, okay, we are using the client side. Okay. So in this point of view also we are using client side scripts. So these are the main reasons why we are using the client side technologies here. Okay. Fine. I think all of you got the clarity in this point of view, right? Yes. Now we are discussing what is the basic history of React.js, who implemented, what is the reason behind that implementation. React.js, initially it was implemented by Jordan Walkie in the year 2013. Okay. So React.js implemented. Okay. By Jordan Walkie. The year 2013. So Jordan Walkie is one of the employees of Facebook organization, and to work with chat concept in Facebook, he implemented Discord. Actually, first they developed this React.js to use in their application. They implemented this React.js to use in their application. Okay. Later, they added more features and released it as open source client-side script. You got it? Yeah. So React.js is implemented by Jordan Walkie, okay, in the year 2013. Okay. So basic version is 1.0. Okay. And later they added many more features, and 17th version currently, full version of 17th is available, and React is supporting many more features. Okay. So now we are discussing what are these features and how to work with these features. React.js is maintaining by Facebook Corporation. Who is maintaining this React.js? Facebook Corporation. Like that. This is about the React.js. So I think you got some clarity what is server-side script and what is client-side script. Server-side script is executing in server machine. Client-side script is executing browser. Okay. When client is accessing any web page, if that page contains client-side script, it downloads to the client system, and with the help of browser, it is executing. So if you take React.js, React.js is an open source client-side script, and the client-side scripts we are using to apply dynamic functionalities and HTML controls, to validate the input controls, to execute some logics, and to use Ajax. Okay. So in these areas, we are using the client-side scripts. Okay. Now, what are the advantages? What are the features of React.js? Okay. The features of React.js we are discussing now. Yes. Before that, any questions, any doubts you have, you can ask me now.
Hi, Swaminathan. I want to know what are the prerequisites required for this course and what we learn in this course.
Yeah, Vijay. Vijay, pre-request is JavaScript mandatory. Yes, JavaScript, complete JavaScript is mandatory. Okay.
Okay.
Complete JavaScript, I will explain to you. Got it. Yeah.
You only explain the JavaScript complete?
Because I don't know, you people may have or may not have idea on this JavaScript. That too, JavaScript is very advanced. JavaScript is very important for us. Okay, that's why I only teach the JavaScript. Okay, around I'm spending 20 to 25 days to discuss the JavaScript. After then only I'm starting React classes. Okay.
Okay. And also any backend technologies like Node.js, Express.js,
Yes,
MongoDB.
these technologies are not required, but you should know how to access the API services. In that point of view, I will discuss the required small amount of Node.js, because here is how to get the API service, okay, and how to access. That is very, very important. We are working with CRUD operations, okay. That's why. So that time I will give you some information about Node.js, okay. But as UI developer, you have idea on this server-side logics.
Okay, okay,
Node.js is one of the server-side scripting.
okay,
Okay.
okay. Thank you, sir.
Any other persons? Any more doubts? Okay. So I will give you this entire information of this class. Okay. These topics. Okay. So now here, just what are the features? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. What are the features we have that we are discussing? So first of all, supports data. Right. Yes. So React.js is supporting data binding. Here, JavaScript is there. Okay. So we can also use JavaScript to work with client-side logics. But the question is, what are the more advantages we have compared with JavaScript? Is it clear? So what are the more advantages we have compared with JavaScript? So that concept we are discussing now. Okay. Yes, fine. So first of all, supports data binding. It is supporting data binding. So what is data binding? Yes. So one example I will show you. So if you observe this, 1 second. Yes. For example, one variable is that serial number is 100. So this variable we have. We want to display this variable value on the text box. Then we are executing logics. Okay. This is some code. So using this code, we can read the variable value and display on the text box control. So it gives 100 here. Yes, yeah. In JavaScript, document.get element by ID we are using. Like that, if you take any other technologies, some functions are available to display the variable value on HTML control. So this control may be text box or heading tag, paragraph, or any other control. Okay. Like that, I displayed this variable value on this control. Now, later, this variable value is modified, okay, by using some server-side program or something, okay, or any backend data with backend data, it is updated. So when it is updated, then immediately I want to display those updates in this text box. Then again, you need to execute this code to read the variable value and display on the text box. Like that, every time we're executing that logic. Okay, this is somewhat burden on the system, and programmer pay much intention to access the variable value whenever it is updated. So React is coming with data binding concept. What is the benefit of data binding? Okay, so if you use this data binding as a programmer, you need not implement any logics to access the variable value and display the control. So that data binding will take care about all this. Okay, so if you bind a variable with HTML control using data binding concept. Okay, so here we have some brackets and some syntax is there for data binding. So if I bind a variable with HTML control, then automatically that variable value displays on the control, and not only that, whenever the variable is updating, immediately the value is updating on the control itself. Okay, so means it is a link between the variable and HTML control to get the updates. This is the concept of data binding. Okay, it is very, very important. Okay, reduces the hectic work to programmer. So because it is providing so very flexible functionality, I will explain you how to work with the data binding. That concept I will discuss with you. So supports data binding. Okay, next one here, providing many validators. Okay, yes. So here React.js itself providing many validators. We are using these validators to validate the controls. Okay, so in JavaScript we are implementing the logics to validate the controls, but this React.js is providing many validators. So how to work with these validators? Okay, I will discuss with you later. So different types of validators it is providing. Next one here, supports single page applications. Yes. The next advantage is React supports single page applications. What is the single page application? Okay, what the advantage of this single page application? Yes. So it is very, very important and very popular concept. Just a simple overview I will give you. Okay, now here, see, for example, you are developing a website and that website contains many pages, okay, like home page, about us, contact us line. This is home. About us, contact us. This is browser. First time sending a request to the server, the response is coming here. Is this clear? So that home page is coming here. There, like that, what is happening? Okay, every time we are sending one request to the server and the response is coming back to the browser. This is the normal procedure. Okay, how the request and response process working. Okay, now every time one request you are sending means, okay, it is somewhat burden on the network traffic, right? It is some burden on the network traffic. That's why they introduced the single page application concept. What is the benefit of the single page application? So here, all these templates, actually we are calling them as components. What is component? Okay, I will discuss with you. Okay, so here all these templates we are binding as one object. Okay, yes, using the single page application concept, all these templates we are binding as an object. So this object we are also calling as a routing object. Okay, when user is sending the first request to the server, then what is happening? Entire this object is loading into the user system, client system, and those components means that HTML templates are storing in the client's cache memory location like this. So what are the templates we have here, here, and here? Those templates are storing where? The client's cache memory location. Yes. When client is requesting any page here, like about us, contact us, the data is coming from this client system. Yes, the data is coming from this client system. Means the page is loading from the client system. So this is the concept of single page application. So we are discussing this concept. So very important. It reduces the traffic on that network and increases the performance of application. So while work with single page application, so we are covering many topics like authentication, authorization, login, logout. These are all concepts we are covering here. Okay. Yes. So React.js supports the single page application concept. Okay, I will explain you the programs. Just what are the features we have in React.js we are discussing one by one. Next one supports JSX. So very important here. So the JSX is not supporting by Angular also. Okay, React is supporting the JSX format. What is JSX? What the full form of JSX? JavaScript XML. The full form is nothing but here JavaScript XML. Yes. What is the JavaScript XML? So using this concept, we can combine JavaScript with the HTML code. So this is the concept of JSX. Okay, we can combine JavaScript and HTML code. So for example, you are implementing one logic in JavaScript. Okay, that logic result you want to display on the HTML control. Then you can combine JavaScript and HTML. That is the benefit. Yes, yeah. So generally we are writing JavaScript in one location, HTML in another location. So from JavaScript, we are calling the HTML controls by using document.get element by ID. These functions we are using. But in this JSX format, we can combine these two. That is the main advantage of this. Okay. So React support JSX. Next one. Supports virtual DOM. Yes. This is one more very, very important concept. Okay. So what is this virtual DOM? See, this concept also not available in other technologies like Angular, okay, Backbone JS, etc. What is the benefit of virtual DOM? Okay, why we are using this virtual DOM? Yes, we are discussing that concept. Fine. So I will show you one diagram related to this concept. Okay, now here, see, for example, you're creating one HTML page, okay, by using some tags like img image tag and next one paragraph tag like that. Okay, when you load this page, what happens in a RAM location? One object is creating. Yes, this is one object. So it contains the nodes for image tag. One node is there for paragraph like that. It contains. It maintains the information of this web page. Okay. Yeah. Based on this object, actually this is a real object. Okay. So one object is creating, that is nothing but DOM object. We can also call it as real DOM object. Okay. Now based on this in browser, maybe Firefox or any other browser, it displays the controls like image control and paragraph like that. So this is your HTML file. When you load that file in memory location, one object is creating. We also call it as real object. Based on that, it displays the controls on the browser. Now, if I do any modifications, okay, if I modify these controls in browser, then what is happening? Actually, those modifications should reflect on this real DOM. So in that point of view, so if you modify one control, only one control, but in real DOM, all controls are reloading. Means what is that? Entire DOM is recreating. Sorry. Yes. Entire DOM is recreating. That is the way how the DOM is updating. So DOM is nothing but one object, okay, in RAM memory location, holds the data of HTML base. Okay. So here, based on this object only, result is coming in browser. Okay, that is just now I created one HTML page na, and that page I opened on browser. So between this page and browser, one object is created in my memory location. That object we are calling as DOM object. So if I do any modifications on any control in browser, then those modifications updating on the DOM object. But not only that control, all controls are updating. That is a little bit late process, delay process. Okay, so that's why here every time the DOM is re-rendering or recreating, we can say, with the modifications. So here React is coming with a new concept that is nothing but a virtual DOM concept. Okay, this is the virtual DOM here. What is the benefit of this virtual DOM? I will discuss with you. Yes. So this is real DOM and this is virtual DOM. Virtual DOM is acting as intermediate layer. Virtual DOM is acting as intermediate layer between the real DOM and this browser. What are the updates we are performing in this browser? Those updates this virtual DOM is receiving, and only the patchwork it is updating on the real DOM. Means instead of recreating the DOM again and again, only those modifications it is updating. That entire mechanism is taken care by virtual DOM. So due to this reason, React is faster than other technologies at the time of updating the data. Okay, so this concept is not available with other technologies. Is this clear? Yes. So that is very, very useful concept for us. Okay, suppose virtual DOM. So how it is working completely, I will show you once again. So that is very big advantage for us. Okay, next one here, supports. Yes, Redux. Redux we are using to maintain the state of application. For example, one page information you want to access from another page. In that point of we are using different techniques like cookies, sessions, local storage, session storage, like that. Different types of techniques are available. So in the same way, we can also use Redux concept to access the data of one page to another page in the web application. Okay, the Redux is providing more enhanced features than cookie sessions and other objects. So we are also discussing local storage, session storage, and along with that, we are also discussing Redux concept. I will explain you what is Redux and what is the benefit of Redux. Okay, next one here, supports. Yes, React Native to implement cross mobile applications. React Native is a concept. Okay, so this concept we are using to implement the cross mobile applications. Cross mobile applications. What is this cross mobile application? See, you want to develop Android app. Okay, so further we are using Android software to develop the app to run in Android mobile. So that Android app can we run under iOS? Not iPhone. I mean iPhone not supporting. Can we run under Microsoft? Not support. Like that by using iOS related technologies like Xamarin or some other technologies are there. So you developed one app. So that app cannot run under other mobiles like Android, Microsoft, etc. Means here, so what is the technology used? Okay, to develop any app. So that technology supports specific mobile, not other devices. So, but it is very cost. Client has to effort. Okay, means the person who is paying money to download the app, he has to effort much money. Okay, to get the mobile apps, multiple mobile apps to run under Android, iOS, and other technologies. Okay, because single app not supporting all mobile devices. But phone gap is one technology. So if you develop any app using phone gap, it runs under Android mobiles, Microsoft mobiles, and iOS mobiles. Like that, it is supporting all mobile devices. The same way, React Native is also there. Okay, React Native mobile app. If you develop any app using React Native, it supports Android, iOS, and other technologies. That is the main point of this. So supports React Native technology. This technology we are using to implement cross mobile apps. Cross mobile app means what is that? Mobile application which supports any type of device. Okay, and if you know React, you can easily implement the mobile apps also, not only websites. Not only websites, you can also implement mobile apps. So for that, you need to learn some native related concepts. Okay, React Native. React already we are learning here. If you know native package, okay. So native package is providing how to display the controls in the mobile phone. Here we are using HTML controls and web applications, right? The same way, to work with mobile applications, native controls we are using. If you know native controls, that is enough. Okay, using React code, you can simply implement the mobile applications, and those applications supports any type of devices. That is the main thing. Okay, next one here, easy. Okay. Yeah, coding is very, very easy if you compare with JavaScript. So React.js coding is very, very easy and very simple. It is very faster. Okay, it is very faster and supports different types of services. Services we are using in functional point of view. For example, I want to work with Ajax concept. For that one, pre-implemented service is available. I want to create cookies. So for that one, pre-implemented services available. Like that, for every concept, services are available. We are taking the support of these services. Okay. So these are the main advantages we have in this React.js. Okay. So if you compare with JavaScript, got it? Yes. So in interviews, these are common questions. What are the benefits of React.js? You should say supports data binding, supports single page application, JSX, virtual DOM, okay, and the React Native we can use to implement the cross mobile applications, okay. And next one here, simple coding, JSX support is there. We can combine HTML with JavaScript like that. These are the features. Okay, so that is very beginning question they're asking. So very first question: what is React.js? What are the features? Okay, so then you should say these points. Okay, programming we'll discuss based on these concepts. Okay, how to implement the programming programs. Everything we'll discuss here. So this is the basic information which I'm providing about React.js. Okay. Yes. Now, yeah, tell me.
But this Ajax concept is replaced by the HTTP servers, right?
What is that?
HTTP client servers and all. We are having the advanced concept based on this.
HTTP
but
client Angular. Okay. Here we are using Axios.
okay, that is a separate one.
Yeah, HTTP client is in Angular, na?
But we will not use this Ajax concept, or we will use this one also.
Ajax, we must use Ajax to connect with the API service. For that, we are using Axios.
Okay.
Axios. Fetch also one function available. Using fetch also we can work with the Ajax concept. So in React.js, mostly we are using Axios. Okay.
Okay.
So already I told you now, so we are connecting the API services of server in that point of view. We are using that access. So by using Ajax only, we can connect with the API services, right? Yes. Next. What other doubts we have? Okay, fine. Now here, to learn this React.js, JavaScript is very, very important. So first I'm discussing the JavaScript concepts. Okay. Yes.
No,
So
means basically we will first know about the Ajax, and after that we will go through that inbuilt one.
what is that?
Yeah, we are having library, right, sir? That one. Just now
Which-
you discuss. First we will discuss with the Ajax, and after that we will go through that inbuilt one. And
Yes, yes. What is Ajax? I will explain to you. Yes. What is asynchronous JavaScript and XML? After that, we are implement the programs, how to connect with that Ajax, everything. Okay, so how to connect with the server using Ajax, those programs we're discussing. Okay.
oh,
Yes. Now here in JavaScript, okay, these are the concepts we are discussing here. So basic JavaScript and advanced JavaScript. Okay, so these are the concepts which we are discussing here. Okay, now once JavaScript is completed, then only we are starting that React programming here. Okay, so just here, just functions and how many types of functions we have, events and dynamic events, hoisting, okay, array related functions and object, okay, and how to work with the object. Object is very important because so the data which is coming from Ajax object, that is in the form of object only. So how to read the object and what the BOM objects we have, data object, match string, conversion functions. Here already it is mentioned if you observe Ajax, okay, and promise, what is promise related functions, and a call, apply, bind, okay, and async await, asynchronous programming, object oriented programming, okay, and event bubbling, tickling, event loop, exception handling, event object protocols. I told you know state management, cookie sessions, okay, local storage, session storage, okay, like that. All these are the JavaScript concepts initially which we are discussing. After that, we are starting the React.js. So these are the concepts for React.js which we are covering here. Okay. Yes. So for JavaScript only, I'm taking around 20 to 25 days. Okay. After that, I will start the React.js. And so total duration is minimum 60 days. Okay. Course duration, not 45 days, because we need to cover many topics. Sometimes it may extend to 70 days also, 70. Okay. 70 working days. Got it. Yes. So anyhow, you can estimate 2.5 months for this course completion. Okay, not before that. Got it. They may tell you 45 days like that in front office, but it's not possible to finish in 45 days. Okay, so 2.5 months you can estimate. We are covering the database connectivity and we are discussing CRUD operations. Okay, and the next one, we are also covering that, yeah, bootstrap integration. Okay, and next one, jQuery integration. Like there are many concepts, functional components, lifecycle hooks, class components. Okay, and how to work with the application. We got application, login, logout, like that. All these other concepts we are covering here. Okay, yes. So any more queries, any doubts?
Are we making any project after the completion of this course?
Project is separate. Okay, this is project oriented batch, and you want to do project after this course, you can join that project batch. It is separate fees, and duration is around 4 months. 3.5 to 4 months, that project batch duration.
Okay, okay.
To attend the project batch, you must know these React.js concepts. Got it? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any more queries? Every day, 7 to 8, our time slot. And initial starting 4 classes, I will take only 45 to 50 minutes. After that, 1 hour. Okay. So up to 4 or 5 classes, this demo link continue. After that, it will change payment link. From then, I am spending 1 hour exactly every day. So this is our time slot. Okay. And
Sir, but in chat they mentioned as a 5 p.m. something like that.
5 p.m.
Yeah.
What is that?
The link will be changed soon. Please get the registration to continue for the future classes. Time 5 p.m. IST.
So can you share me that message?
Yeah, in the chat they mentioned, sir. In the same chat.
The same chat.
Yeah.
I think morning, na, they are sleeping, I guess.
No. It's a 5 p.m., not a.m., sir.
Yeah, and they posted this message now, na?
Yeah, no.
They may be in sleep mode. Where is that?
Mm.
What 2 days, 5 p.m. IST. Yeah. So is this React days? Yes. Okay. So just this not correct message. Okay. I will discuss about this with them. Your timing is 7 to 8. Okay. Maybe by mistake, they mentioned this timing. Okay. So many batches are starting now. There might be 5 p.m. Another batch is there, another technology. So they posted that message in this group, I guess. Okay, that timing.
Yeah.
Like that, maybe some, but our timing 7 to 8. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. So see you next class. Tomorrow onwards, I'm starting that JavaScript. Before that, I will give you some information, introduction part about HTML. HTML introduction, only 1 or 1.5 day we are discussing. Okay, after that, I will start that JavaScript concepts. Okay, see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Server-side script is server. Okay, client-side script is executing in browser, and server-side script is executing in server, web server. So what is React.js? Yeah, React.js is an open source client-side script. Yes, React.js is an open source client-side script. So it is implemented. I told you the name of that person. Do you remember? Jordan, Mr. Jordan. In 2013. Yes, yeah. He's one of the employees of Facebook, and he worked on this React.js. He developed, not worked, he developed this React.js to work on the chat option. Okay, chat concept is then in Facebook. To work on the chat concept of Facebook, he implemented this React.js in the year 2013. Okay, yes. So later they added more functionalities and released this script as open source client-side script, and many websites like Instagram, Apple.com, like the many websites contains the code of React.js. Okay, yeah. So already I shared you some points, client-side scripts we are using, in which type of concepts we can implement by using client-side scripts to apply dynamic functionalities on HTML controls. Next one, to validate input controls. Next, to execute logics in browser. To execute some logics in browser. Next one, to work with Ajax concepts. We have to work with Ajax concepts. So these are the main advantages. Okay, not advantages, sorry. Main functionalities we can handle with client-side scripts. So JavaScript, React.js, Angular, Backbone.js, Vanilla.js, Knockout.js, all these technologies comes under client-side scripts only. The main responsibilities to apply dynamic functionalities and HTML controls. By default, all HTML controls are static controls. You want to apply dynamic properties means you want to change the properties at runtime. Meaning of applying dynamic functionalities is nothing but change the properties of the controls at runtime. So you want to work with that. So then we are using this React.js and validation point of view to validate the input controls. Then also we are using React.js and to execute the logics in browser. So then we are using the React.js and to work with the Ajax. Okay, these are the main points of this. Okay. Next. See, the features of React.js also discussed. Okay, just overview. I'm re-explaining this concept just for brush up. I told you supports data binding concept. We can easily bind a variable with HTML controls. Okay, so this binding is nothing but the linking between the variable and HTML controls. Supports data binding. Next one, supports single page applications. Okay, it is supporting what? Single page applications. Okay, that concept it is supporting. Next one. So single page application means without reloading the browser, we can access the other pages, navigate the other pages. For example, you are in home page. So you want to open the about us or contact us. Then we are sending a request to the server. That time the page is reloaded. Yes. But in this point of view, without reloading the browser, we can access the another pages. That is the concept of single page application. Yes, it is clear. It supports single page application. Next one. Supports. Okay. So many validators. It is probably many validators. Next, what is the format it is supporting? JSX format. It is very, very important. So we are working with JSX concept. JSX stands for what? JavaScript XML. So what is JSX? Tell me, already I told you in last class. What is JSX? What is meaning of JSX here? We can add JavaScript code, sorry, HTML code inside the JavaScript. So by default, what happens if I add HTML inside the JavaScript? See, a simple program I'm creating. Let's see this. Save this file, the desktop location. pro.html. Script open tag, script closing tag, body open tag, and closing. We have taken the script open and closing tags and body open and closing tags again. So here you want to place any control like this paragraph or heading tag you have taken. iMessage to the heading. So now save this program and run it. Displays heading tag with iMessage. In case if I keep this heading tag in this location, what happens? It raises the error message. Now refresh. So right click, go to inspect, and here for the console displays unexpected token, like that this error is coming here because you kept this inside this. If I keep this inside the body, now refresh, displays the output and no error is coming. But if I keep inside the head tag, then what is happening here? Sorry, inside the script tag, it is giving error messages. That's the main problem. Now, if we take JSX format, we can combine this HTML with script. That's the main point of this. Yes, we can combine the HTML script tag. That's the main advantage of JSX. For example, you want to display a logic result on heading tag or paragraph. So generally we are writing the script in separate one location and HTML in another location. So from script we are calling the HTML tags. That is lengthy process. Instead of that, directly we can place that HTML inside the script to display the result of that logic. It is clear. That is the main concept of this. Okay. Yes. So like that we are using this one. Now, that is the JSX format. It supports JSX format here. Next one here supports React Native. So React Native is one technology we are using to implement the mobile applications. Okay, React Native we are using to implement the mobile applications. So what is the benefit of React Native? So if you develop any mobile application using React Native, it supports any type of device. Like we can run that application with Android phone, iPhone, Microsoft phone, okay, or any other mobile. So it is cross mobile application development technology. Is it clear? Yes, supports React Native. Next one here supports virtual DOM. Yes. So what is virtual DOM? DOM is nothing but memory location allocated to HTML page. So for example, in a HTML file, you take in some controls like text box button, radio button. When you load that, all these controls are loading into memory location. So that memory we are calling as DOM. Okay, that is real memory. So what is virtual DOM? That we need to discuss. See, if you modify any control in the browser, every time DOM is reloading. Okay, the real DOM is reloading. So that is time waste process at the time of updating because it takes some time. So that's why React is coming with virtual DOM concept. The benefit of virtual DOM is, so instead of reloading the entire DOM, it updates only that modifications. Okay, so what are the modifications we are performing on the browser? Only those modifications it is updating on the real DOM instead of reloading it again and again. That is the concept of virtual DOM. It is clear. It is supporting that virtual DOM concept. Got it? Fine. Next one supports many services I told you. Yeah, I will clearly explain what is virtual DOM and single page application. I told you yesterday, we are spending around 1 week days. And next one, how to validate the controls and what is data binding, how to work with the JSS format. Everything we'll discuss in our programming. And it supports many services we are using in functional point of view. So here, if you want to work with Ajax, further one predefined service is available. You want to work with the cookies, further one predefined service is available. Like the different types of services are available. We are working with these services. Okay. So I will discuss how to use these services, all the concepts later. Next one here, supports Redux. Yeah, very important Redux concept. It is supporting the Redux. Redux we are using to maintain the state of application. Already I told you these points. Okay, so here you want to transfer some information from one page to another page. In that point of view, we are working with state management objects like cookies, sessions, etc. But Redux is more powerful than that. So it is very flexible than the state management objects. So I will explain you how to implement the program with Redux, all these things. So anyhow, the main purpose is to maintain the state of application. Why we are using Redux? To maintain the state of application. Means to transfer the data of one page to another page. In that point of we are using Redux. Is this clear? Yes. Next one, simple coding. Yes, coding point of it is very, very simple. Okay, so JavaScript itself simple. Comparatively, JavaScript, this is much simple in coding. You should know the JavaScript concepts. Okay, so because this is the library of JavaScript. Okay, React.js is the library of JavaScript. So we are using the React.js functionalities inside the JavaScript code. If you take Angular is the framework. Yes, and React is library. Can anyone tell me what is the difference between framework and library? Anyone have idea? So here Java is technology, Java related frameworks are there. Like the different types of frameworks we have. Now here React.js, jQuery, all this comes under libraries, and Angular is framework. What is the difference between framework and library? Can anyone share? Okay. So library means, okay, it is providing some functionalities, framework also providing some functionalities. Library functionalities we are calling from JavaScript code. So if you take React.js now, so React.js functionalities we are calling from JavaScript. Is it clear? Means library functionalities we are using with another language. But framework, if you take, framework is providing one structure to you to implement the logics. Okay, framework itself providing one structure. Inside that structure, we are implementing the logics. We don't call the framework from other technologies. Okay, but libraries are not like that. So libraries we are calling with the support of other technologies. So here we are using which technology to call these libraries, React.js libraries, JavaScript we are using, and also we can use TypeScript. Not only JavaScript, we can also use TypeScript to work with these React libraries. Is it clear? Yes. Like that, these are the main points which we have. So see, if you take Angular is supporting data binding. Angular is supporting single page application. Angular also supports validators. Angular is not supporting JSX format. And here Angular, we are using Ionic framework to implement the mobile applications. Okay, so Ionic, right? Yes, we are taking the support of Ionic framework, but React itself providing React Native. And in Angular, we don't have virtual DOM. Okay, like that, some features are there in this React, additional features, and some additional features are also there in Angular. Okay, data binding point of view, React supports only one-way data binding. but Angular supports one-way and two-way data binding. And in React, you want to work with two-way data binding. We are writing manual logics. First of all, what is data binding? That is doubt to you. So that's why I'm not touching deeply now about these differences. Once we start the concepts and once we get the clarity in those concepts, then we can easily differentiate what are the differences we have between Angular and React. Okay, yes. So now, see, one use case we are discussing to work with this React.js means where we are using this client-side scripts. Okay, that use case we are discussing. See, I told you client-side scripts we are using